Hi everyone, my name is Alex. I am leading a platform engineering team for a company named Slice Technologies, and we are building an internal developer platform for our engineering organization of around 100 people. And today I would like to share our story and learnings of platform engineering and IDP applicability for smaller teams and the reasons why it can be beneficial and what are the ways to leverage it to scale, to be able to scale DevOps without scaling the team. Let's get it started. So my agenda for today will be some prehistory, what kind of challenges we faced originally, what are our reasons, and what is our situation, and what was the way platform engineering technically became a silver bullet for us and helped us to solve our problems. And then what were the specific techniques and practices we've applied, and where we are today, what's next, where we are heading. So as I mentioned, our engineering organization consists of 100 engineers. And originally we started with just a smaller scope. We started with one team. We started with a backend team of around 10 developers. We successfully implemented DevOps practices for this part of the ecosystem. We evangelized DevOps. We performed this. We switched to a paradigm of you build it, you own it. We refactored monolith into microservices, and we were being able to reduce time to delivery from once a month to technically once an hour. So our release cycle is once an hour now. And after that, we've tried scaling this paradigm to the entire organization, but we faced huge problems. And those problems were, because the nature of the job duties of the other teams is different. And the backend team, they are doing one kind of job duties, and it is very different for front-end teams or for data intensive teams like data engineering, data science, machine learning, and etc. The skill set of those people is very different. The infrastructural landscape is different. They're using different stacks of tools and in different manners. And just the way people do their job is different. So, we what we needed to do is we need to take all of that stuff into consideration. And one of the most obvious ways to scale for us was just, to hire more people, which was not exactly what we wanted to do. And this is exactly when we actually bumped into this beautiful team topologies concept in a book by Matthew Skelton and Manuel Pace. And according to this engineering maturity grade, we realized that we consider ourselves mature engineering organization. So probably the blue square is exactly where we are when we are doing end-to-end teams with regular collaboration. But as we scale, we may want to switch more into yellow and brown, where to be doing end-to-end and SRE, and to be building platforms, to be providing platform as a service. So according to the framework from the same book, we wanted to make this switch from playing a complicated subsystem role of the team or enabling role of the team or technical support role of the team into be playing a platform role, to be providing a platform, a compelling product. So the next thing which we faced was this raise of the platform engineering community, platformengineering.org, and the Slack channel and everything. A lot of extremely useful resources which we started implementing immediately. So a few tricks we implemented. We really dedicated a PM role, product manager. So we did not hire anyone from externally. We just dedicated one of the members of the teams who were interested, and then we started implementing those PM techniques like we made an inventory of everything we have. We can categorize that into buckets, and we've tried to outline 2 milestones of the activities we are doing into, if you will, to be threatened as a infrastructural backend and infrastructural frontend. And after that, on the infrastructural backend side, where the goals were obviously like reliability and security and cost efficiency, or as known as SRE, site reliability engineering, technically. So we applied techniques like cloud infrastructure mapping in order to track the ecosystem landscape. We've applied software upgrades, drift management techniques in order to keep up with changes, and we also um, describe those productionalization checklists and playbooks in the way we call them. So the new software, the new deliverables, they match our best practices and keep in the best shape possible. Whereas on the front-end infrastructure side, we've started applying more and more classical product management techniques. Like the first one is obviously customer interviews. So we just went ahead and performed the interviews with all our internal customers. And this is where the book called The Mom Test by Rob Fitzpatrick became very handy. It contains a lot of techniques on how to do these interviews properly and how to gather the information in the best way possible and how to distill a good information from those interviews. The other one, interesting, is the concept of user story mapping from classical product management, which is transformed into developer journey map, the way we call it. So, as a result of those interviews, as a result of those learnings, we've tried to really draw the exact journey of each exact developer in different cases, the way they travel through our infrastructure and the way they use our tools, and what are the pains and gains they can sort of experience. So this is where I realized that, for example, the journey map for a developer developing some in-house solution is drastically different from the use case when some open source solution is being deployed with Helm chart in Kubernetes and etc. As well as the nature, the source of the software is important as well. The nature of the activity is very important because different developers perform different activities. For example, when someone is developing and testing something, it is very different from this was called configuration management and deployment management and feature management techniques, or for example, from permissions management, request, and etc. So we've aligned and drawn all these thoroughly, so we better understand the pains and gains our internal customers are having. After that, once we got those, we've been able to map those into a certain KPIs and metrics. And one of the best set of metrics we found are actually Google's DORA's DevOps metrics, DevOps resource and assessment metrics, which are deployment frequency, lead time for changes, change failure rate, and time to restore services. So this is what we are trying to measure on top of developer experience, and in order to maintain good developer relations, and applying those into customer interviews and developer journey maps, we are able to iterate frequently on these metrics with technically every sprint. So yeah, this is where we are, and these were the major resources we've used. So actually, like the platformengineering.org community is huge, is a great information, great resources. Along with that, there are no books around DevEx, dev tooling yet. So we've been using materials from YouTube and podcasts, like for example, Scaling DevTools is a good one so far. And yeah, so besides that, there is There is a Substack newsletter we are writing called DevOps Careers, where we are just diving deeper into different shapes of DevOps careers available these days. So yeah, make sure you subscribe and have a great rest of the event.